Military personnel. Does it get harder to adjust back to civilian life the longer you're serving? 22 years Navy. Enlisted at 17, retired as senior chief in 2018. Every year made coming home harder. First deployment, 1996. 6 months on a destroyer. Missed my high school girlfriend. Complained about Navy food. Counted days until return. Adjustment was easy. Picked up where I left off. Second deployment, 1999. 8 months in the Persian Gulf. Marriage felt strange for a few weeks. Wife had new routines. Friends I didn't know, but we figured it out. Still felt like the same person. By 2003, Iraq War started. Deployments got longer. 12 months on a carrier. Launching strikes into Baghdad. Came home to a wife who'd learned to live without me. Kids calling me by my first name instead of dad. That adjustment took months. Civilian clothes felt wrong. Grocery stores overwhelmed me. Too many choices, too much noise. Started wearing my uniform to Walmart just to feel normal. 2007 deployment changed everything. 15 months supporting ground operations in Anbar province. Lost 3 sailors to IEDs. Came home angry, hypervigilant, unable to relate to civilian problems. My neighbor complained about his lawnmower breaking. I'd just watched friends die for democracy. His problems seemed trivial. Started avoiding social events, family gatherings, anything requiring small talk. Wife suggested counseling. I laughed. 20-year Navy veteran doesn't need therapy for readjustment. Just needed time. Time never came. 2011 deployment to Afghanistan. 18 months running supply convoys. Every road potentially hiding bombs. Every local possibly an enemy. Survival meant constant alertness. Split-second decisions. Absolute trust in your team. Returned to suburban California where biggest threat was traffic tickets. But my brain didn't know that. Still checked under my car for explosives. Still mapped exit routes in restaurants. Still woke up reaching for weapons that weren't there. Tried explaining to civilian friends why I couldn't enjoy movies with explosions. Why crowded places made me sweat. Why sudden noises sent me diving for cover. They nodded politely. Suggested I relax more. My marriage ended in 2014. Not dramatically. Just slow erosion of connection. She'd built a life without me. I'd become someone she didn't recognize. Divorce papers cited irreconcilable differences. Truth was simpler. I'd forgotten how to be a husband. Final deployment. 2016. Syria operations. 2 years coordinating airstrikes against ISIS. Watched cities burn on satellite feeds. Made decisions that killed hundreds. Numbers on screens representing human lives. Retirement ceremony in 2018 felt surreal. Flag folding. Speeches about honor and service. Handshakes from officers who'd never left their desks. I felt like an actor playing a role I'd forgotten. Civilian job hunt was nightmare. 22 years managing nuclear weapons systems. Coordinating international operations. Leading teams through combat. HR departments saw overqualified military guy who might have PTSD. Dumbed down my resume. Listed team leadership instead of commanded destroyers defensive systems during hostile engagement. Listed logistics coordination instead of managed ammunition supply for frontline combat units. Got hired at a tech company. First day, coworkers complained about coffee quality, argued over parking spaces, held 3-hour meetings about font choices, wanted to grab them, shake them, explain how insignificant their problems were, started drinking heavily, not socially, methodically, every night until the hypervigilance stopped, until civilian noise faded, until I could sleep without checking locks 3 times. 2 years later, living alone in a studio apartment. See my kids twice a month when court order requires it. They're polite strangers now. Call me sir, sometimes by accident. VA therapist says longer service creates deeper military identity. Harder to separate who you were from who you are. 22 years wasn't just a job. It was my entire adult development. Learn to make decisions under pressure, lead through crisis, operate complex systems worth millions. Never learn to care about civilian trivia. Relate to people whose biggest stress is mortgage payments. The irony? Military trained me perfectly for war, terribly for peace. Every skill that made me valuable downrange made me unemployable uptown. Precision became obsession. Leadership became isolation. Vigilance became paranoia. Some guys transitioned smoothly. Usually the ones who stayed stateside, worked normal hours, maintained civilian connections. Combat veterans with multiple deployments. We're different species now. Still have the flag from my retirement ceremony. Folded perfectly, displayed properly. Reminds me of who I used to be before I forgot how to be anything else.